Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. An argument arose among the disciples about which of them was the greatest. Jesus realized the intention of their hearts and took a child and placed it by his side and said to them, "Whoever receives this child in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives the one who sent me. For the one who is least among all of you is the one who is the greatest." Then John said in reply, "Master, we saw someone casting out demons in your name, and we tried to prevent him because he does not follow in our company." Jesus said to him, "Do not prevent him, for whoever is not against you is for you." The Gospel of the Lord.
One could say that Job is a figure of Christ, an ancient figure that is prefiguring what would happen to Jesus. Jesus totally innocent, Job totally innocent, and tragedy comes upon him. He loses everything. And even at one point in the reading, it's so bad that he finds himself picking his scabs of sores, seated on a dung heap, if you understand what that means. And to top it off, his wife starts harassing him that he's a jerk and he's done everything wrong. And all his children are gone. And then 3 men who are supposedly his friends accuse him of having a great sinful life, because there's no way that God would let something this bad happen to an innocent man. Does this sound like Jesus a little bit? And he's suffering miserably, but like Jesus, he never gives up on God. He keeps his faith in him, even to the point where he says to his wife, "The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away." This is how God is sometimes. And so the story progresses, and these 3 men continue to accuse him. You could say that like Jesus and his association with God the Father, Job is a child of God who is suffering. And yet, he also represents the remedy for all of humanity. He also represents what's going to happen with Jesus. With Jesus, everything seems to be lost. And he's in shame, and he's in a shame-faced situation, looking like a total failure, hanging on the cross. The devil smacking his lips and figuring, I've got all this covered. We'll get rid of this guy. And you can almost see the parallels with Job. It's becoming worse and worse. And it looks like Satan has won this battle for the soul of Job. But Job is not giving up. And so, like Jesus, there is a resolve. The resolve is the resurrection. Jesus rose from the dead, and he conquered Satan. And he conquered everything in the resurrection of the dead. The same thing is happening to Job. Everything comes back to him and more. the end of the story. I'm sorry, you're going to read this for the next few days, and I'm going to be gone for a few days, so I'm giving you the whole story right away. Job then again maintains this posture of being Christ-like. He's patient and he awaits for the resurrection. And strangely enough, the devil loses horribly. Where he thought he won everything, he thought the crucifixion of Christ was going to finish it all. Oh, how narrow-minded he is, that evil one. Jesus Christ is risen from the dead. Job, however, also represents all of us. It is strange that bad things do happen to good people. However, when we maintain our life in Christ, in spite of the afflictions and in spite of everything that goes against us, and we keep our faith, the reward is rich, bounteous, and plentiful. The reward is Jesus Christ, risen from the dead. And as St. Paul says, it is no longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. And because of our baptism, this risen Christ is alive in us and will set us free when it is time for our place in death. So we die and we rise with Christ. Figuratively, Job had this revelation as his whole family was brought back to him, all his riches and more. It's a beautiful vision of what awaits for us in heaven. Yes, we experience tragedy, and in that tragedy, we suffer with Christ so that we can resolve everything in the resurrection and the life of the world to come. Let us stand in prayer.
Regina Celi, letare, alleluia, qui aquam merum isti portare, alleluia, resurrectio